We are waiting for Mr. Thunder, our friends we had yesterday, and we have a new member here called Miss Nata. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Mr. Sakti. By the way, have you ever joined an English course before to study IELTS?
Mm, in 2018, I did join intensive IELTS, but I am forget many things about my
Okay,
lesson in 2018.
yeah, I see. How about you, Miss Yani?
Yes, I have. Before I join this class,
Okay,
I take the IELTS course.
okay. How many courses did you join before?
Uh, how many? Uh,
Yeah, how many courses?
just one.
Okay. Besides Speak Gurus.
Before I join Speak Guru.
I see. So it is
Mm, yeah,
just new,
because
yeah.
when
Mhm.
final test, my speaking not good.
I see. So you have, but have you guys conducted an IELTS official test before, or just joined the course?
Oh, just join.
Mm, no,
Uh,
no, I didn't.
Oh, you haven't taken
Yeah, yes,
any
yes, no, I
IELTS
haven't. Yes,
official IELTS test, right?
yes.
Okay, okay, great. So today I'm going to share my ideas, my stories regarding this test because now we are going to discuss further about IELTS,
Okay.
especially speaking,
mm,
IELTS speaking. Well, without further ado, we can just start our class. Okay. So because you have watched our screen, so yeah, I'm going to move on to the next slide. But first of all, I'm going to welcome you first. Good evening, everybody.
Mm, thank
I
you. Good evening,
almost
Mr.
forgot
Angga.
to say that. Okay. Well. Okay. Introduction. Well, iOS actually has several tests, as you can see in our on our screen. IELTS is designed to assess English language skills across a wide range of levels. So all of your skills in IELTS will be assessed by this kind of test, right? Okay. Then there is no such thing as pass or fail in IELTS. Okay, wait a moment. I'm sorry, I have my brothers around me now. Well, okay, there is no such thing as pass or fail in IELTS. It all depends on your targeted scores actually. For example, if you would like to get more than 6, okay, but if you only get 5, it means that you fail to pass the IELTS. So it all depends on your targeted skills, targeted scores, I mean. Then there are 4 skills tested, as you can see: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Then results are reported as band score on a scale from 1 for the lowest to 9, the highest one. So it is the assessments of IELTS that you can see on our introduction. Then, oh, sorry. Well, so can you see the language proficiency levels?
Mm,
Okay, so here we have several levels in IELTS from the beginner until proficiency. So if you are a beginner, meaning that you are in A1. If you are elementary, you are in A2. Then B1, B2, C1, advanced, and C2 as proficient. So um, it is equal to TOEFL also, as you can see on the screen, right? For example, if you are a B2, the score is approximately 5.5 to 6. It is similar. It is similar to 550 in TOEFL ITV. Okay. Have you guys ever taken TOEFL ITV before?
Mm, yes, I have.
Okay, you have. Miss Yani?
Mm, no,
No. Okay. Hello,
never.
hello, Mr. Wahyu. Wahyu, good to see you. Mr. Wahyu, are you with us? Hello, Mr. Wahyu. Okay, probably. Okay. I see. So it is a level, some levels on iOS that you can see. If you get 6.5, for example, in iOS, meaning that you have C1 level, it means that you are an advanced person in English. It is related to, for example, your vocabularies. Okay, I would like to share other screens. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay, can you guys see my screen
Mm, yes.
from Cambridge? Okay, so you can see if you always say, for example, memahami. Okay, Mr. Miss Yani, how do we say memahami in English?
Understand.
Yeah, of course, we always say understand. And
Yes.
another word to express understand, Mr. Sakti?
Mm, I know.
Yeah, of course, we always say no, right? But if you always say understand, no, to express your knowledge, your understanding about something, meaning that your vocabulary is A1. Okay, can you see here?
Oh,
Okay, it
yeah.
is lowest level of vocabularies. But if you use, for example, okay, I'm going to share another screen. Okay, can you see, guys, my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. For example, if you would like to express understand with another word called grasp, okay, this one,
Oh, great.
grasp, it is
Grass.
the level is C1.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, but I know that you seldom hear this word, right? Because it has higher level of vocabularies. So when you would like to sound more advanced in English, you can change your word from understand or know to express your understanding about something to grasp. Okay,
Mm,
it shows vocabularies actually show your level of English, of your English skill. Okay, okay, this is just some example. Okay, okay, we will move on to another slide. Well, now we have types of test. So iOS has two types of test. The first one is iOS Academy. It is for test takers who want to study at graduate or postgraduate levels. So it is usually used when you would like to apply universities admissions, for example. They require iOS Academic. But if you would like to, for example, find jobs in other in English speaking countries, for example, you only need to take IELTS general training. Okay, but as far as I'm concerned, the difficulty is different also. IELTS academic is, in my opinion, more difficult than IELTS general training because they ask, in my opinion, more complicated things. For example, writing. They have different levels of test. Therefore, when you would like to only work in foreign countries, in English-speaking countries, for example, I highly recommend you to only take IELTS general training because the difficulty is different, right? I think that IELTS general training is easier because I have some friends who ever taken both tests, both IELTS academic and English IELTS general training. Okay, the sequence. The listening, reading, and writing test must be completed on the same day. So they are actually in sequence. After you take listening test, directly you will move on to reading test and writing test. So make sure that you have had your breakfast if it is in the morning because it is kind of tiring. It is really tiring test, and there are no breaks between these three tests. Okay, the speaking test may be taken up to the 7 days before or after the other three tests. So, well, the speaking test is actually separated from those three tests, either before or after the three tests that I've mentioned before. Okay, for speaking, especially here we have uh, three parts from part one. Okay, here today we will begin to study about part one of IELTS speaking. So it is approximately 4 to 5 minutes. It is, I think, the easiest part in IELTS speaking test because the examiner usually asks you regarding basic knowledge that you have, like your home, your family, your work, your study, and interests, and so on, etc. Then part two, okay, you are given 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, usually the examiner give you 1 minute to prepare your ideas, and they prepare you some notes like pencil, paper, and some what is that? Yeah, pencil and paper, especially. After you write, after you prepare, you can talk for 1 to 2 minutes on the topic. Usually, if the examiner is not satisfied with your answers, usually they ask you further more questions, especially usually 1 or 2 questions on the same topic. After that, you will be asked in the part three. Okay, I think it is harder than the um, previous parts, especially part one and part two, because they ask further questions which are more abstract and, yeah, complicated issues regarding, for example, education and many difficult topics. Well, I think that some of you have known about these. We will move on. Okay, skill assessed. Okay, commonly they, as I mentioned earlier, assess your ability to communicate opinions and information on everyday topics. Then your ability to speak at length on a given topic using appropriate language and organizing ideas coherently. So you need to be clearly say your opinions. For example, your opening, your in the middle of your explanation, your elaboration, and then your conclusion. it has to be coherent. Then the ability to express and justify opinions and analyze, discuss, and speculate about issues. Well, the criteria. Okay, these are the assessments of English speaking test in IELTS. They are fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range, pronunciation, etc. Reported scores are reported in the whole world. Okay, I'm going to share another screen that you can see. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, these are the assessments in IELTS speaking. If you, for example, would like to get 7 from speaking test, you need to speak at length without noticeable effort or loss of your coherence. Okay, then if you would like to get 7 also in your speaking, your lexical resources have to use vocabulary resource flexibility to discuss a variety of topics and so on and so forth. Okay, these are the assessments of IELTS. So, for example, if you are bad in pronunciation, for example, but you have better fluency, lexical resources, and grammatical range for, yeah, let's say you get a 4 in pronunciation, but your fluency, lexical resources, grammatical range, and so on and so forth are better and good, yeah, uh, they divide the scores, then combine it into some proper result. Okay, is there anyone would like to ask about this before moving on to last slide?
Mr. Angga, so
Yeah.
if we want to get band score 6.5, it is between 6 and 7 about the description.
Yeah, exactly. And these are the how do we can say, the assessments of IELTS. And if you would like to get 7, how many scores do you would like to get, sir? Do you want to get, Mr. Sakti?
Overall 6.5, but for the speaking, upper 6, not under 6 point.
Okay, above 6.
Above
right?
6, sorry.
Okay, so you need to have these skills, sir. For example, you are willing to speak at length, thought may lose coherence at times due to occasional repetition and so on and so forth. And your grammatical, you have to use a mix of simple and complex structure with limited flexibility and so on and so forth, and others. Okay. How about you, Miss Yani? How many score do you want to get? Miss Yani? Mr. Wahyu?
Yeah, sorry.
Miss Yani?
Yeah.
How many scores?
In speaking.
Yes, in speaking.
5.5.
5.5. Okay, you can see the assessments if you wanna get 5.5s, right? How about you?
I can read this so too little.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to. Okay, can you see now?
Yes. Okay, thank you, sir.
I'm going to share this link on our Google Meet. How about you, Mr. Wahyu?
Okay, for speaking, I need maybe 6.5.
6.5, okay.
At least 6.5.
At least 6.5,
Yeah.
but it is better to get more.
Yes. Of
Okay,
course.
I see. I see. Okay, you can see the assessments if you want to get that score.
So I need to prepare for the 7 or the 8 score of 8.
Yeah, yeah, 7 at least. Okay. Is there anyone would like to ask before moving on to another slide? To the last slide, I think, before practicing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, wait. There are some problems with my. Okay, wait a minute. Hmm. Okay. Okay, these are some general strategies that you can use in your speaking, even before taking the test. Of course, you need to make sure you are ready to demonstrate your English, and then yeah, you need to familiarize yourself with the format of the test. Therefore, even though uh, you have had good English ability, for example, you have good fluency and so on and so forth, but you don't get used to IELTS, I think that it is kind of difficult to you also to get higher scores because you don't get used to, you don't familiarize yourself with the IELTS format. Therefore, you need to practice, practice, and practice, both in the class, with your friends, and other circumstances. Then consider taking a practice test or prediction test. Of course, it is very pivotal to do. And then you need to consider joining a preparation course to improve your performance in the test. Yes, indeed, it is very important to join some courses because they will guide you to prepare yourself before taking the real test. Okay, okay, these are some tips and tricks that I can share to you. Now we are going to have some practice. Okay. Well, you can see I have some topics here about hometown. Okay, before I give you some additional information regarding this test, we can do some practices first, I think. Okay, are you ready, guys?
Sure.
Mr. Thunder is ready tuh.
it is it is quite quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Thunder first. Okay.
Astaga.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
great, great. So actually, I'm going. I'll stop sharing. Okay, because in the real test, the examiners actually will not see, will not show the listed questions actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Thunder, is your hometown a good place to live?
Well, I consider my hometown is a perfect place to live uh, I can because a lot of my friends live in my hometown, and there I can find uh, delicious food um, during even in the midnight. Also in Semarang, uh, uh, ah, Okay, pass.
Well,
Buntu.
okay, okay. What sort of jobs do people do in your hometown?
In my hometown, mostly people work as an office worker, but also we can still find a a freelance worker. For example, nowadays we can see that many company provide uh, online delivery services. So in my hometown, there are a lot of people do that job.
Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Sakti. Okay, Mr. Sakti, in which part of your hometown do most people live?
Actually, my hometown is Jakarta because I was born in Jakarta. As we know, Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia, the biggest city in our country. When we talk about Jakarta, I think the East Jakarta is the most area with the highest density in Jakarta.
Okay, where did you play in your hometown when you were a child?
Uh, mm, uh, when I'm a child, so far I play in the around of my house in the district of Halim because I was born in that area in Halim with my friend like playing football or playing in the field near my house when I chill.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to ask Miss Yani.
Okay.
Okay, it is related to education.
Wow.
Miss
Wow.
Yani, do you work or are you a student?
I'm work. A lecturer, and I work in campus. So
Okay,
what again?
okay. Why did you choose that subject?
Mm, because I love to teaching. Uh, since I was a child, I look my teacher, so I want to be the teacher. But in college, so I look the lecturer and I want to be a lecturer.
Okay, great. Okay, can you describe yourself as a good lecturer?
Hmm, Oke. Em, Aduh, harus ngomong apa nih? Oke, I love the children, and uh, I start to teach. I start to teach the children in elementary school, and uh, I start to be a lecturer in 2014, and I like to share about my knowledge with my student. Uh, so I like to help them to write in Indonesian language, of course, but in scientific writing. So many students want to join the apa ya competition, essay competition. So uh, Yes, I like to help them.
Okay,
That's
thank you, thank you. This is the end of our beginning, right? Okay.
okay.
I wanna ask all of you, what did you feel after being
Nervous.
asked those sudden questions?
Uh, Nervous, but I think it is good for us to be practice for the real test in the IELTS next.
Okay, yes, indeed, it is almost similar to the
Yes.
real test,
Mm.
exactly, because the examiner just directly asks you those questions,
Ah,
and then yeah, probably you haven't heard anything, you didn't expect that before.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I believe that some of you might might feel difficult about that. Okay, before asking you other questions, I'm going to share some tips and tricks again. Well, we have another new members. New member, who's that? Hi.
the microphone still mute.
Okay, you're still mute. You're you're still muted, Miss Mency. Okay, hi, Miss Mency.
Hai,
Okay.
kok suaranya kecil sekali ya?
Okay. Okay, hi, Miss Mency. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but the voice is too.
Too
Wait, wait.
slow? Okay, you can increase the voice of your phone. Well, actually, I'm going to ask Miss Mency first to introduce herself because I think that we are. It is the first time for us to see you, Mr. Mency. Miss Mency, sorry. Can you introduce yourself first?
Okay, I'm Nancy Resolusi. I am 30 years old. I have one boy. He is 2 years old.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Pinjam headset dong. Dipakai. Aduh, tidak jelas suara.
Okay. Do you work or study, Miss Mency? Are you a student or a worker?
I'm a worker, sir,
Wow. Where do you work?
at BTPN.
Hmm.
Okay. What is that? Can you describe a little bit more?
Bank Tabungan Pensiun Negara.
Okay, you are an employee over there. Okay.
Oh, aduh, mana headset ya?
Okay, thank you, Miss Nancy. Okay, guys, we will move on to another slide. Okay, can you see this? Can you guys see this additional information?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
I
Yes.
can.
Okay, these are actually some tips and tricks that you can use in IELTS speaking part one. Okay, first of all, in part one, you will be asked questions as I asked before on everyday topics like home, work, studies, weather, families, sport, education, your hobbies, and so on and so forth. And subsequently, when you don't know much about a topic, you can talk about your past, your memories, your hopes, what you like, what you dislike, what people in your country like, or what is popular. So actually, frankly speaking, you can even make up your story when you don't have any ideas regarding the questions given by the examiners. You can, yeah, even make up a story. I mean, you can be a liar here in the IELTS speaking test, since they do not assess your truth, the truth
Mhm.
that you say, or the lighting that you say. However, they assess your English speaking test. Therefore, they don't even think of what you are saying, but what is your English speaking skill that you have. Okay, you can be a liar here.
Hmm.
Okay, and your answer will be between one to two sentences. Okay, I know that some questions are very simple, like for example, do you work or are you a student or a worker? Don't just say I'm a worker. Okay,
Hmm.
it is too simple. You need to elaborate more. For example, I'm a student. I've been studying here for approximately 5 years, and I am keen on physics. Therefore, I took that major. Okay, did you get? Okay, when you utilize many grammar skills, it can show you that you have a variety of English skills. Therefore, it is very important to combine some grammar things in your explanation. And furthermore, always answer directly to show the correct use of grammar. Okay. For example, do you like swimming? Yes, I do. And then you can elaborate. And I highly recommend you to just answer directly to those questions given. Because if you, um, how do we call it? If you don't answer directly to the questions given, you have a tendency to be out of topic. Get it? For example, I asked Miss Yani before about, can you describe yourself as a good lecturer? Just answer directly. Yes, I am a good lecturer since I always serve my students with several important things. First, blah blah blah. Second, blah blah blah. Just that. Okay, don't be too long of also because you might be out of topic if you answer too long and don't directly answer those questions. Okay, just mention directly. Do you like swimming? Yes, I like. Are you from? Where are you from? I am from Indonesia. I live in Jakarta. Jakarta is a capital city of Indonesia. Just simple as that. And furthermore, you must always add more to your answer. Yes. For example, yes, I do. I swim mostly, blah, 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 blah. Okay, as I explained before. Never give two or three words as an answer. Okay. Don't just say, yes, I like it. And then enough. Okay, that's not good. Show that you have a good English so that you will get a good or even a better score. Okay, keep talking until the examiner asks the question. Okay, is there someone wanting to ask about this before continuing to the questions?
Hmm. So we can making up our
Yeah,
answer,
yeah, yes, indeed. You can make
but
up your explanation.
must consistent. Uh,
Um,
I mean,
mhm,
the interviewer he, he cannot know that we
yeah.
are liar or making up our answer.
No, he or she doesn't care about that.
Okay.
Okay, as I mentioned before, the assessments are for things that I mentioned earlier. Your coherence, your pronunciation, your lexical resources. Lexical resource is another way to say vocabulary,
Hmm.
and then your grammar
Hmm.
and your accuracy. Okay, so yeah, it is okay to be a liar.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
Moreover, if you are a real liar, I think it's kind of
Yeah,
easier to
that
them.
is true.
Okay. Okay. Is there
But
anything?
Mr. Angga,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a question.
Yes. Sure. Sure.
When we try to make up a story in real test,
Mhm.
uh, there is possibility that we stuck and confused how
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
develop the ideas.
Yeah. It's
That's would be a problem.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, could you give me any ideas to avoid the stuck and confuse us?
Yeah. Yeah. I see. If I may suggest you, it is important
Yeah,
to be honest, right?
yeah,
But the problem is how if we get the questions that we even don't expect that before, right? Therefore, being a liar is a good way. How to overcome that problem? Of course, we need to practice more
Hmm.
in our speaking, right? If we get used to it, I think it's kind of easier to pass it, right? And make sure that you also have to use um, some connectors in your speaking. It is an effective way to notice your points. For example, after saying your first question, and then you would like to move to another point, you can use um, like furthermore, in addition, on top of that. The meaning is selanjutnya, secondly, thirdly, firstly. I think it is a good way to make our explanation tidier and better, I think.
nice, nice. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Angga. Okay.
Okay, so let's practice, guys. Okay, before I ask you only um, some questions, now I would like to ask you fully. Okay, I'm going to ask Mr. Thunder first. Okay, Mr. Wahyu. Okay,
Okay, okay.
I always laugh when I say your name. Okay, so we have. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Mm, thank you. Good evening,
Okay,
Mr.
good
Thunder.
evening, Mr. Angga.
Okay. I'm going to ask about films.
Sorry, could
I'm
you
going to
repeat?
ask about films.
Films. Okay.
Yeah. How often do you go to the cinema?
Well, I consider myself not kind of movie lovers, but I go to cinema for sometimes if my friends ask me to go with them.
Okay. Okay. Do you prefer to watch a film at the cinema or at home?
Well, it depends on the condition that if I watch a film at home, usually usually if I am at home and feel bored. But if my friend and I have the plan to go to cinema, then so we go to the cinema.
Okay. Okay. Which film from your childhood do you remember most?
Well, that's interesting question. Um, well, there are so many films that I remember. For example, uh, uh, Power Rangers or Doraemon. I usually watch them in the Sunday on Sunday. On Sunday. Um, but there are there are more films that I still remember, such as Wiro Sableng, and even though I watch it uh, right now, I still like it, and it feels funny for me.
Okay. What's your favorite film now?
Well, at the moment, I really like action movies, and the film that I really like is James Bond. When we watch the movie, we can feel the emotional and the fighting between the actors.
Okay, thank you. This is the end
Yeah.
of part one.
Okay, thank you.
Speaking part one of IELTS. Okay. Okay, I'm going to assess you first. Okay, well, as I mentioned before, it is very important to directly answer your questions. For example,
Okay.
how often do you go to the cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah, just I go to the cinema once a week. Okay,
Okay.
you have to answer the how do we call it? The frequency, right? And then
Okay.
you must say your reasons. Why do you only go to the cinema once a week? Okay, another thing. Which film from your childhood do you remember most? Okay, which film? Okay, you answer. Your answer is your answer was Doraemon,
Oranges.
Power Rangers, Wiro Sableng, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Because I'm too. I do like that. However, if I recommend, if I can recommend you,
Sure.
you can only mention only one film. Why I mentioned that? Because each explanation has to have their own elaboration,
Hmm.
so they can
Okay.
be more coherent, right?
Yeah.
However, you mentioned more than three films,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
you didn't answer, you didn't elaborate more each movies. Okay, so
Okay.
it affects your coherence, your assessment
Okay.
in that way. Okay, thank you, Mr. Wahyu.
Okay.
Now,
Thank you, Mr. Angga.
okay, now I'm going to ask Miss Miss Nancy. Are you with us, Miss Nancy? Okay, I'm going to ask you later. Now I'm going to ask Miss Yani.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready?
Deg-degan dong.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you about friends.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, do you have a lot of friends?
Yes, I have a lot of friends. Uh, my childhood friend and my friend in my campus, my friend in my home. So I have a lot of friends.
Okay. How often do you see your friends?
Ah, I see with my friend every day. Every day I see my home friend, yeah, my home friend. But my friend in campus, uh, every day I call them to discuss about everything. about my work, about my research, or anything.
Okay. Is there anything special about your friends?
Yeah. Of course, we have same hobby, so we can do we can do everything about my hobby, about our hobby. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For how long do you know them?
Mm. My closest friend, my close. I Kela. Kela. Bentar. Apa tadi pertanyaannya lupa.
For how long do you know them?
Oh, I know them almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. Because we in the same work, so we can know each other well.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Yani.
Thank you.
This is the end of our speaking part one. Well, great. You did great. However, I think that you need to elaborate more and more coherently.
Okay.
Okay, you can use to notice your each point. You can use furthermore
Oh.
means selanjutnya or
Mm-mm.
and then, right? In
Okay.
addition and so on and so forth. And when you cannot hear clearly the questions given
Mm-mm.
by the examiners,
Mm-mm.
you can ask. You are not allowed to ask in bahasa Indonesia.
Ah.
Apa ya pertanyaannya? No, they don't understand
Kan
because
karena tahu.
they are native English speakers. Okay,
Okay.
either from Australia, America, or somewhere in Europe. Okay, you can ask. Can you repeat the questions, please?
Okay.
Okay, it is polite. It is a polite question. Okay, Miss Yani, how do we pronounce karena?
Because.
Okay, it's not because, but because.
Kemana dia
Yeah,
belajarnya? Because.
because. How do we
Because.
pronounce pengetahuan?
Knowledge.
Sorry.
Knowledge.
Okay, it's not knowledge or knowledge, but knowledge.
Knowledge.
Yes,
Oh.
knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yani.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, we will move on to Mr. Sakti.
Nice.
I'm
Okay,
deg sir.
you're nervous.
Nervous.
Okay, Mr. Sakti, I'm going to ask about books. Okay,
Okay.
I mean about your daily habits. Sorry. Well, the first question. Oh, sorry. Do you enjoy reading?
Thank you, Mr. Angga, for your question. Actually, I'm really likes to reading a book and enjoy my time to reading many books because from my childhood, my parents usually give me many books to read and they are reading to me. Sorry, they are reading a books for me when before I sleep. So until now, I really reading a book.
Okay. Do you like watching movies?
About movies, I think I like to, but when uh, I watch movies when I just have a free time in the weekend, maybe in Saturday or Sunday, when I have time to go to cinema, or when I don't have time to go to the cinema in the mall. Actually, I just watch my movie in the Netflix or in the other YouTube maybe.
Okay. What is the last book you read? And did you like it?
The last book that I have read is Francis Fukuyama. There is tell us about the modern age in the modern country, when the every nation is divided in the many faction. uh, I like the genre like this book because it gives me more knowledge to know about the world.
Okay. How often do you go to the cinema with your friends?
With my friends, I think actually once a month, because I should match my schedule with my friends when they have maybe schedule to work in the weekend. I have a free time. When I have a free time, they have a schedule to work. So maybe about once a month.
Okay, thank you, Mister. This is
Thank
the
you,
end
Mr.
of
Angga.
our question. Well, good. You did great. You could elaborate your explanation, and that was good. However, in the third question, in the second question, if I'm not mistaken, you you were out of topic. Why? Because sorry. Okay, when I ask you, do you like watching movies? Okay, you need to elaborate why do you like that, not when do you like. I mean,
Hmm.
when do you watch or where do you watch?
Hmm.
Not. I don't ask a place. I didn't ask a place, a time, but I ask why do you like that. For example, yeah, I feel I could increase my mood to do many things after watching movies, for example. Okay, I asked the reason, not the place and the time. Okay, and then I saw many fillers in your speaking.
Hmm.
I mentioned yesterday. It's better to have English fillers rather than Indonesian fillers.
Hmm.
As Indonesians, we have our own fillers. We call it uh, right? Uh. But as I mentioned yesterday, in English has their own meanings, right? In English is the meaning is sebuah, seekor, and blah
Hmm.
blah blah. Okay, you can use okay, or when you don't have any ideas, you can say you know, well, what is that in the middle of your explanation, and
Hmm.
you can use it to be more natural, okay, as a native English speaker. And I saw some grammar mistakes like there is tell us. It's actually they tell us. Every nation is divided. It should be every nation is divided, and so on
Hmm.
and so forth. Okay, but as for the beginning, okay, it was good. Okay, I mean your performance was good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sakti.
Thank you, Mr.
Now,
Angga.
okay, now we have Miss Mensi. Hello, Miss Mensi, are you with us? Hello, hello, Miss Mensi. Hello. I think she is not with us now. Okay, thank you. This is actually the end of our meeting for today. Is there someone who would like to ask something before ending this meeting?
Well,
Yeah.
I wanna ask you some maybe suggestion
Suggest.
how suggestion to improve a certain topic. For example, uh, in recent assignment, you asked me about movies, film, and hometown. And how? What is the best way to learn and to memorize uh, new vocabulary
Yeah.
of complex sentences and idioms and maybe phrasal verb? What's the best way to learn?
Okay.
Do you have a list of those words?
Okay. My suggestion is keeping practicing. However, we need to have friends, right, to practice. Okay. If I may suggest you, you need to memorize some vocabularies or phrases or idioms by yourself, either both from YouTube, from readings, articles, and so on and so forth. However, when it comes to speaking, we need to use that, right? Therefore, after memorizing new words, you need to use that directly in your speaking.
Hmm.
It is one of the ways to do in our class, for example. Before joining the class, you can memorize some new vocabularies, then just directly practice that, use that in your speaking.
Okay.
Or when you don't have, let's say you do not have any friends around you, you can speak by yourself, alone, right? For example, I just knew the word grasp, and then practice it. I just grasped many things from Mr. Angga's class. Okay, use grasp by yourself. Okay, after memorizing, after getting new words, my suggestion is use it in your speaking. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Anything else,
No.
Fernando? Okay. Thank
And
you.
Mr. Angga,
Oh yeah.
one more. For tomorrow, will it be still what, task one, or we move on to task two, or
Oh, okay. Tomorrow we will have a discussion regarding general topic. Okay.
okay.
Okay. It 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 might be more general to enhance your speaking skill. So
Okay.
make sure that you practice more tomorrow in our class. However, as I mentioned before, you need to memorize new words, new phrases, new idioms, and then use it in our class. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
guys.
Mr.
This is the end.
Angga. See you
Okay.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Nice to meet
Okay, thank you,
you.
sir.
Nice to meet you.
Miss Isaini. Miss Isnaini, I'm leaving ya.
Oke, Mas Angga.